Please stop scrolling and listen to me just for a second. Along with everything going on in the world right now, I would like to introduce you to my friend Alejandro Vargas Martinez. In December 2018, he was walking to school, an innocent 15-year-old child, and he was shot. And still to this day, there has been no arrest made. I want to spread awareness, and I want his name to be heard, and I want justice to be served because he deserves justice. His life was amazing, and his life was worth it, and Black Lives Matter. And I'm not Black, but I mourn with you. So please share this video, and please spread awareness and get justice for my friend.
What I'm about to say is not up for discussion. Black Lives Matter. If you disagree with those 3 words, you need to take a serious look at the privileges that you enjoy that allow you to have that belief. Black people were stolen from their land and as slaves built America. And when they were finally freed, they were stripped of their basic human rights. And while you might have the luxury of sitting at home and staying silent on everything that's going on right now, know that Black people to this day are still disadvantaged in almost every aspect of life, from the justice system to walking out of a store. George Floyd was murdered by police over an alleged $20 counterfeit bill. He cooperated with them and was still murdered. And he is just one of many innocent Black lives taken at the hands of racism. If you can't march, donate. I'll be tweeting links to different causes. If you can't donate, sign petitions. I'll be tweeting those too. But do not remain silent. No one is too young or too old to stand up for what's right. You have a voice. Use it.
Recently, I've seen a lot of white people ask, how is this happening? How does this continue to happen? How can the police just be killing unarmed innocent Black citizens? Well, let me show you some history. This right here is the badge of a runaway slave patrol officer, aka the actual local law enforcement. In the 1860s, these were people paid by private citizens to hunt and kill Black people. And this is a very modern day badge of a sheriff today. You add all this up plus the alliance of the KKK in the 1960s, and we have an extremely inherently racist, corrupt police system. Now, I'm not saying that every police officer is a racist person and a murderer, but I am saying at the core of the police organization, there is a system of racism and corruption. So if you want to know what you can do, just know the country is built on some bullshit, and we need your help changing it.
As a person who has been given the platform to be an influencer, I have realized that with that title, I have a job to inform people on the racial inequalities in the world right now. How come when it comes to the color of a person's skin, they're treated differently? A man was killed. His life was ended. "Don't kill me," George Floyd says as his last words. His life should not be over, and his name needs to be heard. George Floyd, a father and a person. A human who lost their life because of the color of their skin. We, people of all colors, need to speak up at a time like this. I have also come across lots of people speaking up and saying that the Black Lives Matter fist that many people are using as their profile picture are for the Black community to use only. I have since changed mine back, but I will continue to spread these messages and be an ally. We all have a voice. We need to stand up for what is right and stick together.
I don't mean to sound dramatic, but this is in my window. Obviously, it's like the wrong way because it's facing the other way, but it obviously says Black Lives Matter. And I wanted to make sure you could see it from the sidewalk, so I went down there and I was going to take a picture of it. And this lady, who was this older white lady, she like looked like a Karen. She had the Karen haircut and everything. We made eye contact and I was fully expecting her to like get mad at me or like say something rude. And she said, she points to it and she said, "That's so amazing, isn't it?" And I said, "That's my window." And she said, "Oh, that's your window? That is so amazing. Thank you for doing that. I'm so proud of like people like you." And I was like, "Thank you, that means so much." And I said, "I'm going to the protest on Friday." And she says, "Oh, you're going to the protest? I would love to go. When is it?" And I say, "It's 6:30 at the legislature building," which is like our government building. And she said, "Oh, thank you for the information. I'll be there." And I wanted to cry.
He wants sit down like a normal person.
Am I a normal person, Miss Bryant? No! I'm Black.
I don't mean to sound dramatic, but this is in my window. Obviously, it's like the wrong way because it's facing the other way, but it obviously says Black Lives Matter. And I wanted to make sure you could see it from the sidewalk, so I went down there and I was going to take a picture of it. And this lady, who was this older white lady, she like looked like a Karen. She had the Karen haircut and everything. We made eye contact and I was fully expecting her to like get mad at me or like say something rude. And she said, she points to it and she said, "That's so amazing, isn't it?" And I said, "That's my window." And she said, "Oh, that's your window? That is so amazing. Thank you for doing that. I'm so proud of like people like you." And I was like, "Thank you, that means so much." And I said, "I'm going to the protest on Friday." And she says, "Oh, you're going to the protest? I would love to go. When is it?" And I say, "It's 6:30 at the legislature building," which is like our government building. And she said, "Oh, thank you for the information. I'll be there." And I wanted to cry.
Don't put your hands in your pockets. Don't put your hoodie on. Don't be outside with no shirt on. Check in with your people. It don't matter even if you're down the street. Don't be out too late. Don't touch anything you're not buying. Never leave the store without a receipt or a bag, even if it's just a pack of gum. Never make it look like there's an altercation between you and someone else. Never leave the house without your ID. Don't drive with a wife beater on. Don't drive with a do-rag on. Don't go out in public with neither. Don't ride with the music too loud. Don't stare at a Caucasian woman. If a cop stop you randomly and start questioning you, don't talk back. Just compromise. If you ever get pulled over, hands on the dashboard, and ask, "Could you get out your license and registration?"
So one of the most common comments that I've been getting is that Black women don't get discriminated against for their hair, which is crazy. So I have a daughter. Her father is Black and I am Libyan and white. Clearly she's super, super light, but she has some big, beautiful hair. Well, she did. Her texture changed as she got older. It's very interesting. But in kindergarten, big, beautiful blonde afro. She was sent home for being a distraction, for her hair being a distraction. Literally sent home from school for her natural hair. And then I started braiding her hair, like you see, and they were telling me that she can't have synthetic hair. It has to be her natural hair. Her hair can only be braided with her natural hair. So her natural hair isn't okay, and her big afro and these braids aren't okay because it's not her hair. This really happens, guys.
I guess this is another story time. I lost my newborn baby. I had to drive in a taxi carrying its dead body to the hospital. In 2012, I was falsely accused of shoplifting and physically assaulted by the police. The combination of being abused by the police and losing my child left me with severe mental health issues. The man that assaulted me, James Kiddie, was eventually let go. He dragged me by my hair and beat me. However, later on in 2014, when I was detained in a mental health facility, I was sexually assaulted by someone that I trusted. As I defended myself against my attacker, they called the police. I was arrested for assault for defending myself against someone that was trying to rape me. Rather than put me in a place that could better suit my needs, considering I had severe mental health issues, they put me in a jail cell. I was later found dead in that cell. I was never once given the medical help or the medication that I needed. My family were told that I strangled myself in my cell. However, we all know that's physically impossible. Her name was Sarah Reed, and she was failed by the police on multiple occasions.
I'm tired of being peaceful. I have lost 3 brothers to this, sir. 3! This is not all right. I'm hurt. You don't see the eyes. I'm hurt. My people out here hurt. I'm tired of this. I'm not sitting down. If I gotta die behind my color, I'm gonna die about it. My kids after me, they gonna walk these streets free, just like everybody else can walk these streets free. I'm not standing down. I'm black and I'm proud and I'm strong. Together we are strong.
So, me and my friends were headed to an award ceremony, and then this happened.
Oh shit, nigga, I'm shook.
I already called the state troopers and told them you were swerving and to pull the fucking gun.
We didn't pull a gun? We didn't pull a gun? No, what are you talking about?
For my own personal safety, I am not suicidal. I was suicidal in the past, but that is not the case now. I was homeless at one point, but I will never run away. Hear me, I will never do that. I would never kill myself. Don't let them tell you otherwise. I'm making this abundantly clear. comment, share, and copy link, because I'm not here for it, and I will speak up.